Sepak Takraw is a skill ball game originated from Southeast Asia. It combines the teamwork of volleyball, the dexterity of soccer, and the finesse of badminton. In Thailand, it is called Takraw, but the official name of this internationally recognized game is Sepak Takraw. Without a doubt, it is one of the world's most exciting sports to play and to watch, yet it is relatively unknown outside of Southeast Asia. Playing the sport requires little in the way of the equipment or preparation, but it does require quick reflexes, coordination, agility, and above all, technique. The game is played by two opposing regus, a team of 3 players each on a court, separated by a net similar to badminton. It begins with the service, executed by a ball toss from one player to the server. Then, the players try to beat their opponents using their legs and head, except their hands inside 3 kicks. The highlight is the spike. This is the most dramatic and explosive move in the game for spectators to watch as players go mid-air, twisting and turning to power the ball down in the opponent's court. To play Takraw, players can use either a net, a hoop, or simply stand around the circle formation. Whatever the style, the object is to kick the ball to another player without the ball touching the ground. Players can use any of their lower limbs and body but absolutely no hands. The history of Sepak Takraw. It is recorded in the cultures of Southeast Asian nations as early as in the 11th century that the game was played extensively. It was called Takraw in Thailand, Sipa in the Philippines, Sepak Raga in Malaysia, Singapore and Brunei, Chinglong in Myanmar, Rago in Indonesia, and Kator in Laos. It is also recorded that in one of his many trips, the merchant Marco Polo brought back to Europe a game from China which was kicking an implement into the air and counting the number of kicks, a style resembling today's Sepak Takraw game. Sepak Takraw is a skill ball game which requires the use of the feet and head to kick the ball in the air in a targeted direction. Traditionally, villagers stand in a circle and display keen understanding and teamwork to help one another to keep the ball in the air for as long as possible. It provided villagers of all ages with fun, recreation, and a sense of shared community. This was the traditional circle game, evolved from many forms of kicking. Today, the circle game is still popular throughout Southeast Asia and has taken a hold as a form of recreational sport for all. In a new variation introduced by International Sepak Takraw Federation in 1996, players stand in a circle and receive different level of points for each passing kick. The circle event was included as a medal event in the 13th Asian Games in Bangkok in 1988. Sepak Takraw using the net came about in the 19th century. In 1960, representatives of various Southeast Asian nations established a set of rules and regulations for the game and called it Sepak Takraw. In 1965, the game was included in the Southeast Asian Peninsular Games and since then has made great strides with its debut as a medal event in the 10th Asian Games in Beijing, China in 1990. The formation of the International Sepak Takraw Federation by the Asian Sepak Takraw Federation in 1988 contributed greatly towards a global promotion of the game. Since then, many countries outside of Asia have taken the formation of International Sepak Takraw Federation up by the sport, including the United States, Canada, England, Finland, Germany, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Brazil, Australia, New Zealand. Sepak Takraw equipment. Takraw balls. Takraw balls were originally woven from rattan and was used in Sepak Takraw games as early as the 11th century. But in 1982, a Thai engineer revolutionized the sport by introducing woven synthetic balls. Today, almost all players around the world use synthetic Sepak Takraw balls. A Sepak Takraw ball ranges in weight from 140 grams to 200 grams. Normally, younger and beginner players start with lighter balls and move up in weight. For advanced players, the optimal weight for advanced Sepak Takraw ball is 175 grams. Some people use heavier balls for additional spring or when playing outdoors in order to minimize the effect of the wind. The weave. The tightness of the weave of Takraw balls determine the spring, bounce and speed. A soft ball has less bounce, A hard ball will have maximum bounce. The Sepak Takraw shoes or footwear. In Sepak Takraw, the most important piece of equipment, with the exception of the ball, is the athlete's footwear. Most players prefer to kick in court shoes. They are popular mainly because of their support and flat surface at the instep, unlike the flared sole of a running shoes. In general, any lightweight athletic footwear with a flat instep will work efficiently. Players often must develop a feel for their desired footwear by trial and error. The Sepak Takraw court. The play surface must be flat, horizontal, and uniform. The width of the lines bounding the court should be 0.04 measured and drawn inwards from the edge of the court measurements. Court borders should be at least 10 feet away from all obstacles. A Sepak Takraw court are composed of the following parts: the center line, the quarter circle, the service circle, the net, the post, and the free area. first Sepak Takraw skill that we're going to tackle is the inside kick. In doing the inside kick, you should stand in a good athletic stance. Feet shoulder width apart. Remember to bend your support leg at the knee. And it is important, always keep an eye on the ball. The kicking motion is easy and don't swing on the ball too hard. The ball is bouncy and you need just to hit it in the right spot on your foot, specifically on the inside part of it, as well as with the proper motion. In learning the inside kick, you need to try a few times of simply tossing the ball to yourself. Focus on the ball and pop it back to your hands. Catch the ball and then try again. Do this until the ball is consistently coming back up with ease and pop it back to your hands. Once you have gained consistency in this drill, you can begin to try to link some kicks together. Try dropping to your strong foot, popping the ball up, and then kicking with your weak foot before catching the ball. Try to link these three kicks together on alternating foot. You should be able to see your progression. Thigh controlling is used when the ball comes fast towards the area between your knees and your waist. This skill is used to bump or deflect the ball up and have to use an inside kick to control the ball. It is also used when kicking consecutive kicks or in a circle and the ball gets close to your body. The motion is like a high step marching motion. Simply raise the leg with your hip, allowing your knee to bend. Try to contact the ball on the thigh where possible instead of the knee, as it provides better control. Make sure that the ball hits the fleshy part of the thigh to bump the ball up out of a beat. The simplest way on learning the thigh controlling is hitting the ball with the thigh and try to link it with one inside kick and then catching the ball. Do this over and over until it comes naturally. Once you get this combination and doing it naturally without thinking, you will be aware of your improvement in the skill. The front kick is a defensive kick, great for saving a ball that has gotten out in front of you. It is not, however, a good control kick. Those who play soccer may disagree, but in Sepak Takraw, the inside is the right way. Learn the front kick for saves, the inside for control. The front kick is achieved by placing the foot out for the ball and depending on the height of the ball, either lifting the foot with your hip or just letting the ball bounce off. You don't need much power because the ball tends to fly off uncontrollably. Do it slow and take it easy. Like the other kicks, do the same, toss and catch drill, then try. Head controlling is probably the second most important skill to have, especially in the net game. The header is used to pop up a ball that comes higher than the waist. The best way to learn the header is like the inside kick. The contact point should be just above the forehead at the hairline. Not too much on the forehead and not too much on the top of the head. Right in between. The easiest way to learn to control the ball with your head is you need to toss the ball to yourself. Hit it with your head and then catch it. Do this several times until you feel comfortable with this skill. When doing the header, remember to bend your knees and get low beneath the ball. Like the other kicks, you don't need to focus on power, but on accuracy and placement. The next step on this skill drill is to toss the ball higher and again control it with your head before catching the ball. It hurts a bit at first, but you'll get used to it. The graduating step is to a header from a high inside kick or from a header to a controlling inside kick. Try both combinations as you will be using both of them as you begin to play more. In controlling the ball with the front kick, this is the defensive kick useful when it comes to saving balls. This kick can be achieved by placing your foot out for the ball and depending on the degree. Lift your foot with your hip or just let the ball bounce off. Try not to do it with too much force because the ball tends to fly off uncontrollably. In controlling the ball with the inside kick, keep your standing or non-kicking leg planted on the floor, with your knee slightly bent. And for your kicking leg, you keep your toes pointing forward, raise your knee and out to the side in one motion, and lift your instep to face upward. Your toes should be pointing forwards. Aim to meet the ball around knee height. Don't try to kick the ball hard. Instead, and aim to gently lift the ball up. Your aim is to raise the ball vertically. In controlling the ball with the thigh. The thigh are good when the ball comes fast towards the lower midsection of your body. This skill bumps or deflects the ball up enough to use an inside kick to control the ball. Raise your leg and hip while allowing your knee to bend. Keep the ball on your thigh. This provides better control. Let the ball hit the fleshy part of your thigh to bump the ball up. And once you feel comfortable, it's like doing a walk while controlling the ball. Additional tips in controlling the ball. Always remember to always keep an eye on the ball. Once you are familiar with the basic kicking positions, you can begin to try to link some kicks together on alternating feet. Try to focus more on accuracy and placement rather than power.